Hi guys, it's Nikki Taylor. I'm so excited to be here with you guys and to read for you. So I wanted to give you guys some clarity on what we're going to be doing tonight. There's going to be a free option, which is a 1-card oracle reading. But if you're wanting a more in-depth reading, which is what I typically do on the show, the 3-card reading, it's more like a 4-card reading. That's going to be the full mini reading, and you're just going to hit the link for that to get the information for payment. If you want to make a small donation to get the mini reading. And then there's also the oracle option, but no matter what you choose, I'm very honored to be here with you and to read for you and to serve you in this way. So let's see. We've got, hi Hearts Love Joe. I like your smiley face. I love emojis, guys. I love heart emojis, smiley face emojis. Okay, so let's see who we've got. I think we've got Victor P first. You guys are gonna have to give me a little bit of grace here as I as I learn to navigate this. Okay, right. So we've got Victor O first, and then Pug Mama next. And then, so Tony, I'm gonna have you let me know who's getting what reading. So let me know their name, and then if they're getting the full or the mini, or the mini or the 1 card. That's going to be important because I've got a list of names here, but I'm not sure what readings they're getting. So I'm going to have you start your list over with me, and the next name you send me is who I'm going to read for, and then I need to know if it's a 1 card or a mini. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be Ray first. Okay. Is it Ray or Rhea? I don't like to mispronounce names. Our names are so valuable, you guys. Okay. So Rhea, I believe, is the 1 card. So I'm going to shuffle up, and I'm going to pull for you from the butterfly deck here. So I'll start with that. And so the 1-card oracle readings aren't really going to be question based. I'm just going to pull for you guys and give you guys. Oh, Ray. Okay. Sorry, sweetheart. Thank you for thank you for correcting me. Yes. So I'm doing a 1-card oracle reading for you, and that's not going to be question based, honey. I'm just going to bring the information through for you and offer it. For the fuller mini reading, if you guys want to donate, you can ask a question for that, or you can just let me pull, whatever you feel comfortable with. So, okay, so for you, Ray, for your oracle card, you've got emotions. I don't know if you can see that without the glare. There we go. And so with all my readings, oracle and tarot alike, I think it's really important for you guys to tap into your own intuition and what resonates with you when you hear me say, the word on the card and when you see the image, because that's powerful. Your intuition and your psychic ability is just as valid and powerful as mine. From your spirit and angel guides, though, I will definitely offer you that emotional calibration is really important, particularly when it comes to goals that you have within work or school setting. So I'm not sure if you're in college and you're working towards some kind of educational goals there, but your emotions are really a big factor in how you meet your goals when it comes to your schooling. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. So taking care of your emotional needs, validating your emotions for yourself if something feels particularly stressful or frustrating to you, you don't have to talk yourself out of that feeling. You don't have to say, no, okay, you're studying psychology. Lovely. Perfect. And there's an emotional component to that too, and how that's in line, right? Because psychology is foundationally the study of emotions. You said absolutely spot on, about to see a school counselor. Lovely. I love hearing that, because what I hear when I hear you say that is that you tuned into feelings of frustration or sadness or what have you, and you sought some guidance on that, right? You allowed yourself to have guidance on that instead of like feeling shame or dismissing it, which is so powerful. You're going to be an excellent healer for other people someday, because it starts with yourself. It starts with being able to validate and honor your own feelings in order to do that for other people. So that's lovely. And I know that, like, I'm grateful there's going to be another like excellent healer out there in the world. Okay, so let's see who is next. Okay. So we had Ray first, and I believe that Catherine is next. So I'm going to pull an oracle card for Catherine. Oh, okay, sorry. Pug Mama is next. Okay, Pug Mama. Aw, thank you, Nikki. Ray says, you're welcome, sweetheart. You are most welcome. Thank you for doing the work. Okay, so Pug Mama, your oracle card is body changes. And so like I said, I'll say it many times tonight, you guys, this is good practice in you tuning into your own intuition. What does that card mean to you? What is that image? Where does it hit you on your body? I'll offer you, Pug Mama, from your spirit and angel guides that it's really a valuable time for you to hone in on your body care and what that looks like for you. You know, self-care is an intimate thing. And sometimes we just slap like we just kind of go with, we're like, oh yeah, self-care, a bubble bath and a face mask. Self-care can look like that, but it doesn't mean it looks like that for you. It's part of your task, your obligation, if you will, to really tune into what your self-care is. What do you need? And I can give you here that a large percent of your self-care is body care. It has to do with your body. And so it's important for you to tune in. What does your body need right now? Does it need different nutrition? Does it need detox? Does it need exercise? Does it need movement? Remember that your voice is a part of your body. Okay, we forget that, right? And sound, making sound is an expression that our physical body needs. Now it's spiritual and emotional as well, but it's also a body sensation that we need to participate in. When's the last time you sang or screamed or made a sound, right? That felt good, that felt like a release. That's part of your body care. So I'll urge you to participate in that and to take some time to tune into your body and what your body needs, and then give it to yourself because you deserve it, instead of waiting for some external source to do it for you, right? Okay, so next, okay, so next we've got Eeyore, which is Amy, correct? Okay. Okay, so Eeyore or Amy, your oracle card is leaving. Whew, that's a powerful card, right? Leaving is a hard thing to do. Leaving is associated with loss. Typically, that's what if we have to leave something behind, a person, a place, a part of ourselves, we immediately ping on a sense of loss with that. And yet, leaving also insinuates movement. To leave something behind means we must be moving forward. We must be pivoting and changing direction somehow. And if that's the case, then we must be moving towards something. So that means that there's a gain there as well. And so here I will just offer you the comfort of knowing that whatever pain or sadness or grief or regret comes with whatever is being left, know that you're moving and pivoting towards receiving and offering, right? There's no such thing as empty space in the universe. It will always be filled. And so it's an opportunity for you to fill your space with more abundance, more light, more joy, and more healing. Okay, and then we've got Keisha Giles next. Okay, so Keisha, you're gonna, let's see, you are doing a full mini. So I'm gonna shuffle up and pull cards for you, my love. So I'll pull 3 tarot cards for you and an oracle card. Eeyore says, wow, thanks, with a bunch of really cute emojis, which I love. You're welcome, sweetheart. I'm glad you came and got what you needed. Cards are full of energy tonight. I call it sticky when they're full of that much energy and they're just kind of hard to shuffle. It's good though. Okay. And I think I said Keisha, but I think it's Keisha Giles. And if I say your name wrong, spell it phonetically for me. Don't let me say your name wrong, guys. Your names are valuable and they deserve to be honored. And if I pronounce them wrong, it's just because I've never heard them before. It's not out of disrespect. So always put it phonetically up on the screen for me so I can honor you in that way. So Keisha Giles, I'm going to pull your full mini right now. Oh, wow. Okay. Got your 3 tarot cards pulled. I'm just going to shuffle up and pull an oracle card to kind of ground and clarify the information. And remember, guys, if you're watching, this is what the full mini reading experience is going to be. And so if this is what you're wanting or you feel called to, you're going to need to go and make that donation. But if not, feel free to wait for the 1 card tarot. Okay, Keisha. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a minute with your cards here, sweetie. You've got a lot of energy. Honey, so I have to tell you, though, that your oracle card you pulled is leaving. And I pulled another oracle card, and it's let go. And it's encompassed by the number 9. It's an 18. 1 plus 8 is 9, obviously. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's pretty powerful. I love those together because the 9 gives the leaving some framework. And so we're going to talk about that. Keisha says, LOL, you're okay. I do it all the time. Tell people how to say your name right. I'm sure you do, sweetheart. And I'm sorry about that. But I'm glad that you are brave enough to just correct people and make sure your name's being honored the way it deserves to be. So here in your tarot cards, though, I can see that in your recent past, you've had this, it's like a life review. So you'll hear me talk about life review for people who have passed on. And I only know about life review from mediumship experiences where I've had them come and give me that information that basically they sat and seen their life in review. They've watched everything they did and said. It's interesting because you've had a similar experience, although not on the other side, right? You've had this kind of, it's like you've really itinerized and tuned into how you got to where you are, everything that brought you here, every sorrow, every grief, every joy, every just moment where it was I can't believe that happened, right? You've really sat with that. You've really given that a sacred vessel to be reviewed. And you've done it with the intention of understanding why you are where you are and having clarity on where you're going. That's your biggest thing in your energetic imprint. It is an energy of wanting to know where you're going, right? I think to understand where you're going, it is important to understand where you've been. And it's obviously important to know where you are. It's like when you're on a hike and there's those maps along the way and it says, you are here, right? You've got to know where you are in order to make like educated, clear decisions about where you want to go and what path you're going to take next. So I love that you're doing that work. I think it's integral to your spiritual development, your emotional development, your every kind of development that there is with you. I can also see that in the present, you're in a good karmic relationship with money, meaning you understand on a fundamental level that money wants to be circulated. So like everything in nature is in circulation, right? The seasons go in circulation, they go in cycles, water flows and circulates, the wind blows. Like some things look really still, like the movement is so minuscule that it looks like it's not moving, but everything's moving in nature, right? Anything that's not moving is either dead, or it's become like, water that doesn't move. You don't want to drink it. It becomes like poisonous and stagnant and gross. It's the same thing with money, because money's energy. It's energy wearing a mask that looks like a dollar bill. And so it wants to circulate, it wants to flow, and it wants to flow in a healthy way, right? We can come back to the water analogy. Water that's not flowing in a healthy way, it causes floods, right? Or it causes drought. Money's the same thing. It's energy and it's powerful, and you don't want to drought with your money. You also don't want to flood. So you have this understanding that like what's going out needs to be coming back in, that you need to be taking payment for your services, and that you need to be compensated appropriately. You say, Cachet says, yes, it feels like it's not, but I do know it is moving. I agree. Gotcha. See, and you're tuned in. It's hard to know that something's moving when it seems so still, right? It's like watching a plant grow. It's like, is it growing? And so having faith that yes, it is moving. But it sounds like you can feel that. But I think the biggest thing here is what I was tuning in on, which is being compensated for your work and being compensated appropriately in the way that it fulfills you, not based on somebody else's standard. So we're really indoctrinated and taught early on that like we trade our time for a number that somebody else decides on. Somebody else says this hour of work is worth $11 and this hour of work is worth $30, right? And we just kind of go with that. That's how our economy works. It's just like a social construct. And yet we're moving into the new paradigm where we get to decide that. We get to decide what our compensation looks like. And it's not always money either. There's currency in many forms. It's validation, it's connection, and all of these other things as well. But I think the point here is that you're in a really good state with that, and you're being able to honor that, and that's going to increase. So your compensation is going to continue to increase. Remember, though, that you've got to put out. So you've got to get, or you've got to give to get, and you've got to get to give. Never forget that. It can't go one way or the other. As you move into the near future, it's interesting. Is your birthday in the late 80s, honey? Because you've got this kind of indigo child energy, and I feel like it revolves around your birth time. Although I think indigo, crystal children, light beings, all of this stuff, star children. I don't know that there's always a time frame associated with that, but there's a specific drop down of indigo children in the late 80s that I think is important. And then there's a connection to this for you. One of your hardest tasks moving forward is to be able to give information, tough information, with a lot of tact, to wrap every word you say in unconditional love. That's difficult for you. That's going to be difficult for you to receive the tough information for people and be able to deliver it in a way that it elevates their life and doesn't create more barriers for them. So when we talk about you becoming a master of your craft and really tuning into your skill as a healer and a reader, it's going to be important for you to remember that it's almost like an ethic. Your goal is to elevate people, not create more barriers for them. And I don't think you would ever do that on purpose, but I do think this is something that can take practice. So I'd like you to be mindful of that and tune into that, honey. But other than that, it looks like things are going pretty beautiful for you. Your oracle cards were leaving and let go, which is under a 9. And 9 is the number of reincarnation. We talked about this in your reading earlier, which was the rebirth, the death and rebirth that needed to occur for you. That's what the 9 is. It is reincarnation. 9's getting ready to, it's the last number in the 1 through 9 cycle. It's getting ready to come to an end so it can be reborn as a 1. So it's important for you to think about, what do I want to take with me into my future endeavors? What in my life is broken? And either do I have the time, energy, and tools to repair it before I take it with me? Or do I even want to take it with me? You need to make that assessment and then act on it as you move forward. Okay. All right, honey, I hope you got what you needed and you feel validated and clear. And so let's look at who's next. Okay, so we've got Keith Thomas next. Lovely. And Keith Thomas is early 90s. Okay, that's fine. Late 80s, early 90s, kind of melts into each other. Time is like this thing where it's like the non-smoking section in a restaurant. Like, remember when we used to have that? Where it's like the smoke doesn't go, oh, it's the non-smoking section, I'll stop here. Time's the same thing. The past isn't like, oh, I'm the past, can't go past that barrier. And so I think that timeline is really important to your nature and how gifted you truly are. So Keith Thomas, I am shuffling up for you, and you did a donation for the full mini reading. So that's what you're going to be getting as well. And so if you guys are watching, tune into that and see if you feel called to having that for a reading. Okay. And then Keith Thomas, if you have a question, you're welcome to ask it, or I'm perfectly comfortable, and it's my more natural state just to pull cards and bring information for you. But I just want to give you that option if you want to put a question up, but you'll need to do that now because I'm going to shuffle and pull, my love. Okay, give me a second with my cards here, guys. Sorry, something's a little off, and I'm gonna take a second to run through my cards really quick. Okay. I had a lot of upside down cards in my deck, which is unusual. And I really don't like to read reversed cards unless they come through, like in despite of my organizational skills. And then if a reverse card comes through, then I'll honor it. But the energy was just feeling off with all these reversed cards in my deck for some reason. So let me just shuffle these out. There we are. Okay, now we can get a nice clear pull. I want to make sure that telephone line to your guides and celestial team is really clear. Ooh, when you hear that shuffle, it sounds better already. That's what clear energy sounds like, guys. Wow, okay. So Keith Thomas. Okay. Keith says, I would like to hear what you have to say. Lovely. Okay. So in your recent past, you've got a major arcana card, which is balance. Here, this is really representing that you have a lot of external a lot of external opinions, viewpoints, and guidance coming your way. So I can sense that some of this guidance is sought. This is obviously a perfect example, but you may also have like a therapist or a mentor or people that you're deliberately going to and seeking advice, direction, and guidance of some sort. I also see, though, that there is an aspect of this that's unsolicited and that you're just receiving this. It's important for you to find a way to really organically integrate the external information that you get. You want to honor it, especially when you're deliberately seeking it, right? You don't go to someone and ask their advice and then go, well, I didn't want your opinion. You want to honor what you're asking for. And even when it's unsolicited sometime, although I'm not an advocate of unsolicited advice, you want to know that there's offerings and benefits and, little pieces of gold there sometimes in those external opinions. But you have to find a way to integrate that into your own self-knowing and not let it override your understanding of things and because usually when we go for advice, whether again, we're seeking it or we're just getting it, we already have the answer. I mean, I've been, reading professionally for a while, and I don't think I've ever had anyone come to me that asked a question where they honestly, in their deepest of their soul, didn't know the answer, right? Sometimes they just need the validation that they, in fact, knew the answer. So I want you to remember that you already know. Keep that in mind, okay? Now, in your present, you've got the Emperor, which is governed under the number 4. And so here, this is about structure. So I'm assuming you're in a place where you're building business for yourself because you've got an Oracle card that is self-employment. I'll show you this because I love these Oracle cards. They're so pretty. They're so visually appealing. Okay. So that self-employment coupled with the Emperor card tells me that you've got some structure going on. You're building a framework of sorts for yourself. Where you're at in that process, I'm not seeing if you're at the very beginning. It might be an idea stage at this point, or it might be full well in motion. Either way, I see you having a lot of success. I think self-employment's your jam. Now, if you're already like in a career where you work for someone else, like you don't work for yourself, I want you to know that you can still bring a self-employment aspect to that. It's not necessarily, self-employment doesn't have to be quitting your job and opening up your own business. It can be, though, branching out in the career that you're in a way that you have more control over your own schedule and that you have more of a negotiation with how you're compensated, because that's really what self-employment symbolizes. It symbolizes us having a control over our schedule and our time, and over our setting and the structure of our business. And then also we get our salary, right? We get to have more say and input on our salary. And you can do that within a job where you work for someone else. The point here is that being in a position where you're just submitting to somebody else's structure, somebody else's scheduling, and somebody else's idea of what is good compensation for you is not a sustainable model for you. That will implode at some point. So know that wherever you're at on your journey towards self-employment or a self-employment model, you're on the right track. I want to offer you that validation. Again, you don't need that validation because you already know it. Moving into the near future, it is important for you to be mindful of keeping your cards close to your vest. And I want you to do this in like a fearful manner, but I do want you to protect your resources. Ideas are currency, and you don't need to be giving those away for free right now. Just be aware of who you're sharing with. Not everybody has the ability or the bandwidth to hold sacred space for all the beautiful things and ideas that you have coming out of you right now. So be mindful of that. Don't be wasteful with your resources. And one of your greatest resources is your ideas and your mental processing, right? So share that with the right people who are going to not give you poor reflection back on your ideas, who aren't going to set you up for being like self-conscious or doubting yourself, because there's that heavy element of external advice that we talked about in the beginning, right? So as you move forward, be mindful of who you're allowing to come into your cognitive aura and give you advice, okay? Not everybody wants to see you grow, unfortunately, right? It's like crabs in the pot. They don't care if they die as long as you do with them, right? They don't want any crabs to get out and move forward. So, be mindful of that. Okay, I hope you got what you needed, my love, and good luck. Let's see who's next. Let's see. Okay, so we've got Catherine next. Okay, so Catherine, I'm going to pull an oracle card for you, and I'm going to pull from the Language of Light deck for you. Aren't these pretty? Okay. And then Keith, I didn't hear anything from you, my love. I hope that you're feeling validated. You guys, I love, let me know how you're feeling. And if something doesn't resonate, that's okay. But let me know how you're feeling and what's resonating with you. And I'm here to connect with you. So throw those comments up and let me know what you're thinking. Ooh, all right, Catherine. What a beautiful card. So you've got Inward Revolution. And this is governed under number 42, which in numerology, we break everything down to a single digit. So 4 + 2 is 6. It's interesting because, like I'm sure you heard me say, but just in case you didn't, connect your own intuition on this. What do you feel? What do you know when you hear me say Inward Revolution? And what do you feel? What do you know when you see that card? Okay. Now, I'll offer you from Spirit side is that you're definitely in a time of. Okay, so I'm instead of sitting here and trying to think of a better analogy and wasting time, I'm just going to go to the best analogy for the energy that you're experiencing right now is almost like a midlife crisis. Okay. Now, I know you're going to have a lot of associations with what that means. So I'll ask you to detach from some of those and know that really what the midlife crisis is representing is someone who is suddenly realizing that they're not as connected to themselves as they thought they were. That there's a lot of things that they want, desire, and need that they haven't either realized or been able to honor for whatever reason. They've gotten themselves into some kind of life circumstance where they haven't been able to participate in the things that they love and they value. They've found themselves kind of slipping away, right? A midlife crisis is really represented by someone suddenly coming into this realization that, oh my gosh, my life needs to change. And so what we see in people who are experiencing this kind of cliche term is that they suddenly will very suddenly pivot and start participating in those things. Oftentimes we see it as like getting a sports car or changing their hair or their lifestyle changes and it feels very extreme when really what they're doing is they're making up for time because they have this realization that, oh my gosh, I've wasted so much time not being my most authentic self. I've wasted so much time not doing what I love and feeling vibrant and free and stuff like that. Oftentimes this includes leaving a marriage too, right? Because they'll look back and they'll go, I have been unhappy for so long. And I've really been living in an illusion and participating in something that does not serve me or the other person. So because it's governed, your card is governed also under this number 6 with this inward revolution. That inward revolution is probably the more accurate term for midlife crisis because midlife crisis has all these funny pop culture labels and attachments from movies and stuff like that, when really it's a very powerful term for something that's occurring internally. So I think inward revolution is a more accurate way to describe everything that I just talked about. We encompass it under that number 6, which is the number of harmony, and it's also the number of domestic roles, balance, right? It's the number of physical senses as well, sensuality. So this is a time in your life where it's really important for you to get connected to what do you need? What do you want? What are you being deprived of? And really it comes down to what are you depriving yourself of? Because when we say being deprived of, we get a little bit of victim role here, right? Like who's depriving you? What are you depriving yourself of? It's time to get it. It's time to do it. Whether it's something you want to participate in, something you want to have in your life, you've always wanted to paint your walls a certain color. Now's the time to do it, baby. It's time to participate in your own personal inward revolution. Okay, so next we've got Hannah Thomas. And Hannah Thomas, you are doing the full mini. So you did a donation. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm not used to not seeing any comments from people. You guys are freaking me out a little bit. It's like silent out there. Hannah Thomas, where you at, girl? Say hi. Maybe it's just the platform too. Maybe it's just different than what I'm used to, and that's okay. Okay. We got forgiveness right out of the gate, Hannah, with your oracle card. Oh, Ray says, ha ha ha, I was thinking the same thing. Thank you. I was like, why is it so quiet? Where is everybody? Where are you guys? Am I alone? It's just me and you, Ray. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Hannah Thomas. So I have your tarot cards pulled. I have your oracle card pulled. Can you leave a comment and let me know you're here? So I think that's something I'm going to need is for you guys to say, hey, and let me know that you didn't just, what I don't want to do is I don't want you guys to do a donation and then you're waiting for your reading and you go to get a drink of water, you go to do whatever, and you come back and you miss the beginning. I don't want to read for an empty audience. So just let me know that you're here, present, and ready for your reading, because it's okay while you're waiting. You might go do something, you have to use the restroom, that's okay. But let me know that you're back, you're here, and you're present so that we can really engage, because I'm all about the intimacy and the connection here. I don't want to read out into empty space, guys. Gotcha. Okay, and there's Hannah. No question. I would just like, I missed the end of that, but I would just like to see what you have for me. Awesome. Well, I have a lot for you here, so perfect. It works out great. So Hannah, in your recent past, I've got, interesting. Wow. You know, I got a lot of good stuff for you here. So give me 1 second because okay. So you've got, this is interesting. You've got some information coming through like about your parents. So are both your parents passed? Or did one of your parents just pass recently to meet up with the other one who passed a while ago? This could possibly be grandparents too, if you were really close to your grandparents. People have different attachments to grandparents. So if you weren't close with your grandparents, this isn't going to be it. Because there's like a real connection here for you. And this sits in your recent past. It's connected to your childhood. So I'm interested. Your grandfather passed away. Okay. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, but he went to meet up with grandma then, because I can see that they are definitely reunited. And I can see that there's really some specific memories revolving around grandpa and the relationship with him. was he someone who was giving you like encouragement whenever you would have like new ideas? Like you'd be like, oh, I want to do this. And you'd be like, well, in my day, we could do that. This is what we did. Like, and here's how you can do that. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't even think of that type thing. There's like an energy of like some kind of support coming through, but it's support revolving around your ideas and implementing your ideas and encouragement so that you could have the confidence to move forth on those. Hannah Thomas says, I would go to him for everything. Got it. Lovely. So know that that's just coming through. Like the energy, it says, oh, in November, we were very close. Oh, he lived with me for 7 years. Wow, that's powerful. It's interesting because your next card is a 7 sitting in your present. So that's interesting. He's got more advice coming for you. So know that. So that energy is coming through for him, just the support that he gave you in his passing. But that his energy is connected. His energy sits in your recent past in this four of fire, 4 of spring card. But it moves into your present with the 7 of autumn, which is the 7 of pentacles, the 7 of earth. And here it's talking about you needing to take, oh, did he leave you an inheritance of some kind? Or a house or something in the material world? That's interesting. Or even, did he leave you with some advice that that's going to help you build something in the material world, financially, home-wise, the security in the material world? Because that's sitting in your present. And it's you needing to have patience for the long term. Oh, Hannah says, yes, ma'am. He left me money. Oh, and you paid your house off. Perfect. Okay. Wow. Sorry. I'm like, wow. Grandpa's a good guy and he's coming through so strong. So it's not like he's giving himself like a big pat on the back, but he's acknowledging. He's saying like, I'm here, like, because like, how could your reader know this? So he's trying to validate stuff that I couldn't know. But also, it's like he's showing like, but this is how I showed my love for you. And so you've got this 7 of autumn in the present, which is showing you using investments that are using what he left you. That's why I asked if he left you money or a house or something like that, because he left that to you so that you could plan for your future, so that you could invest in your future security. That's what the 7 of autumn or the 7 of pentacles is all about. Your next card, which is your near future, is the 10 of pentacles or the 10 of autumn. And it's interesting because this is him and you at the same time. This is taking steps to ensure like long-term security for your loved ones in the material world. So this is like, he did that for you by leaving you money, and you've now done that for your loved ones by paying off your house, because now you have something you can leave your loved ones, right? You have a security in the material world that you get to leave behind, just like your grandpa did for you. So it's like a chain reaction, a domino effect. It's really beautiful. I love that. I love that he was able to do that for you, and that you were able to then pay it forward, because you could have used that money for something else and you didn't. You literally did the same thing as him, just in a different way. That's so powerful. That's love for your family and love for your tribe. That's like passing it down to the next generation. He passed it down to you, and now you're going to pass it down to the next generation. And that very well could just go on for all time and eternity. That kind of family connection and love for each other that you guys have created with that stability in the material world. Now, I have to say and draw our attention towards a little bit of away from grandpa a little bit now, and say that in your oracle card, forgiveness is coming up. And so I am going to ask you on this, I'm not going to offer you a lot of information. Instead, because forgiveness is our most powerful, intimate work to do, first to acknowledge where forgiveness may be being withheld. And that can be forgiveness for ourselves. Hint, hint. Okay. And so tuning into where that forgiveness needs to occur, and then taking the next final step, which is then offering that forgiveness. Know that forgiveness is not permission in hindsight. Forgiveness is not permission for what was done wrong. Forgiveness is a reorganization of space. You're releasing the space that's being held by offering forgiveness, and you're clearing up space for more light, grace, love, joy, and peace to enter. So yeah, I'll just call on you to do that sacred work for yourself, my love. Okay, let's see who's next. Next. Let's see, we've got Hearts Love Joe. Hearts Love Joe. And that's an oracle reading. And so I'm going to pull from the butterfly deck for you, Hearts Love Joe. And again, guys, just throw that comment up and let me know that you're here, present, and watching. Hannah Thomas says, thank you so much. With a heart emoji, you're welcome, my love. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for trusting me to bring that information forward for you. I'm grateful. Okay, Hearts Love Joe, throw up a comment, honey. Let me know that you're here, ready, watching, and present to receive your information. And if I don't see a comment from you guys, if I don't know, especially for the oracle ones, I'll probably move forward. If I don't know that you're here, ready, and watching, just in case you got distracted. And that's not just for me, that's for you guys. I want you guys to get your message. That's what you came for, right? I don't want you guys coming back to the computer going, I missed it. Okay. Gotcha. And I can see, I know you guys can rewatch it if you miss it. However, it is important for me to read for people in real time, right? I don't want to do a recorded reading for you. I want to interact with you in the moment. So I'm going to move forward then to the next person. Hope Wells. Okay, Hope, honey. I love that name. So, Hope, I'm going to shuffle up for you. I'm focusing in on your energy, Hope Wells, and shuffling up your oracle cards. So let me know you're here. Throw up an emoji, a penguin. I don't know. I like to use all the unused emojis. Oh, look at all those. Hope's got a heart, a double heart, a rainbow, all the good stuff. Thanks, baby love. I like it. All right, Hope. You have moving as your oracle card. There's not a lot of information to offer you on this one because it's very self-explanatory. You needed the validation and you've got it. The answer is yes. Go ahead with that. That's like free and clear, easy peasy. Yeah. I'm glad you got what you needed there. That came through. Let's see, Hope puts up a couple of other emojis, and I'm not sure I can't tell if they're little blue people or zombies. Either way, they're awesome. Thank you. I love weird emojis. I use them myself. I'll text people and just like throw a penguin in or a poodle or whatever. Okay, so let's see who's next now. And Hearts Love Joe, if you come back on, throw up a comment. I think we've got Cool Girl next. Cool Girl. Hope Wells said they're genies. Oh, awesome. I love that. Genies. Okay. Cool Girl. Are you ready, babe? Cool Girl. Okay, let's see who's after Cool Girl. Natalie, is it Natalie? Nathalie Galeas? I feel like I've said that wrong. You know who you are. Again, spell it phonetically for me. Let me know you're here, honey. I'm just shuffling for the energy. So It's either, there's a TH, so it looks like it's like Napoli, but it might be Natalie, Goliath. Natalie. Okay, gotcha. There we go. Thank you for letting me know, honey. Okay, Natalie, your oracle card is grief work. Sorry, I'm not the best at holding these cards up so you can see them right. Grief work. Oh, okay. So your celestial team, and Natalie puts up a heart emoji. Okay, so your celestial team definitely is circling around that your grief work has a lot to do with regret, right? So it's less about missing someone and more about regretting what you weren't able to say, weren't able to do, what you think you should have done, what was missed out on. And so there's almost a feeling like you have some regret revolving around possibly someone who has passed in your life, but there's also, this card center is definitely more around regret about, and grief around what has been lost in your life, what has been missed out on. And again, areas and opportunities where you're like, I wish I would have done this, said that, done that. And you are going back to hindsight a lot. And so you're being really pulled into a past timeline where you're like trying to, you're going over like, oh, well, if I would have said it like this, or if I would have done that. And that's really pulling you away from the joy of your present. And so it's time to do this grief work. It's time to feel it one last time, and then to have some radical acceptance around it, which is that what's done is done, and you are now in the present, and the past no longer gets to steal the joy of your present, right? It's time to do that work once and for all so you can really step into the power of now, right? Because you're missing out on the power because you're not fully present. So you're not able to manifest and do a lot of things that you want in your present life because you're not fully there. And Natalie says, spot on. I do that lately. Gotcha. And do you do that in the shower a lot, honey? Because I can see you. I mean, I can't see you. Don't worry. I'm not that psychic. But I can see you in the shower, like going over conversations in your head or reliving timelines. And it's because the reason that you do that is because the shower is a place of cleansing. We're clearing space. And then so we're allowing stuff to, so it's like you're doing your spiritual work in the shower. I'd like you to create like a meditative space. And Natalie says, yes, exclamation points. Yes, gotcha. And that makes sense. You do a lot of your spiritual work in the shower because, again, you're clearing space, it's cleansing. So another thing, a suggestion I'll give to you is to do really deliberate showers. Like empaths and people who are psychic, it's really good to take a shower with intent. Like when you wash your hair, you're washing out your cognition and your crown chakra, anything that's entered. And as you wash your body, you're like, I'm clearing away all the energy I've taken on this week or whatever. And taking really mindful showers is going to be a game changer for you because you're very empathic. Okay, who's next? Amy Santos. Amy, girl, where you at? Throw up a comment. Let me know you're here. I'll start shuffling. Okay, we've got about 6 minutes left, guys. So if you want to do that full mini reading, get that donation in and let's get you read for. Right now, I'm waiting for Amy Santos to throw up a comment and let me know that she's here. If not, I'm going to go to who's next. Cool Girl and Heart Song Love. If you guys are on and you're like, hey, throw up a comment. You weren't here, so we went forward, but I'll go back to you. Natalie says, thank you so much. Very helpful. You're very, very welcome, sweetie. Thank you for coming and receiving what you needed. Okay, we've got Paris Moan. Paris Moan, are you here? Ray says, I'm going to do my homework now. Love your show, Nikki. You're such a fabulous reader. Oh, Thank you, Ray. I really appreciate it. And you're doing the hard work, babe. And being a student's tough stuff. So be gentle on yourself. And I'm glad that you're seeking that guidance with a counselor. And again, I can't say it enough. I am, as a mother with a child growing up in this world, it fills my heart to know that there are people who are committed to bringing more healing into the world and making it a better place, because then my baby gets to grow up in a world that is more healed and more elevated. So thanks for doing the work, Ray. Okay, who's next? You guys, we've got a little less than 5 minutes. Let's end it with a bang. So who's wanting a reading? Let's throw some comments up, guys. Let me know you're here. Okay, we got Billy Hathaway. Billy Hathaway, are you here? Can you throw a comment up? Can you let me know you're here? Okay, is there anyone else? Melissa Hoban. Okay, so I'm going to do Melissa Hoban because I saw her comment first. Ooh, I see lots of other comments, guys. Okay, so I saw Melissa and then Melissa Hoban. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Your oracle card is emotions. Okay, so you know, right? You know when you hear me say that. You know when you see the card. But remember, I'm going to give you the corny analogy because it's very spot on for you. Is that emotions are energy in motion. Don't suppress them. Don't stuff them. Don't block them. Let them move. Dancing and creating movement with your body is sacred geometry, and it allows expression of emotion. So is sound. Make weird sounds. Allow yourself to cry, to wail, to make whatever noise you need to make to release emotion, and allow yourself to move however you need to release emotion. It's going to elevate your life in ways that are profound. Okay, I saw a couple of other comments. Who's next? Lisa says, me, please, and thank you. Okay. Lisa, you've got body changes. Okay. And so I'm not sure if this is, I feel like I'm tuning in. It feels like this might be menopausal, but it's definitely related to your, oh, Melissa says, thank you. You're welcome, honey. Lisa, this is definitely related to like your hormones. And so it's really important for you right now to educate yourself and work with your doctor or whatever feels comfortable with you to understand what your hormones are doing at this time in your life, and how you can assist the processes that are happening with your emotions, whether or not it's menopause or not. It's hormonal either way. And remember, hormones are really powerful. We joke and we're really silly about hormones. Like we're like, oh, we make jokes and levity about women who are PMSing and stuff like that. And yet, you know, hormones are like the equivalent of taking any drug, a pill that would have an effect on how you behave or act. It's the same thing because it's a chemical, like they're neurochemical transmitters and hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, all of these. It's a big deal. And so I just want you to make sure that you're not feeling devalidated about some of the experiences you're having, and dismissing it as, oh, I'm just hormonal. It's like, no, you're hormonal. That's a big deal. And you need a lot of support and care as you navigate your hormonal changes. And you deserve a lot of care and support while you navigate that. It's not some silly thing that you need to just write off or feel weird about. It's something that you need to be seeking support for, whether that's nutritional support, medical support, whatever. So I just wanted to give you that validation. Okay, we're right at the end of our time. If there's one last person though, KT, I'm going to get to you. You're going to be my last one. Okay, this is a good one, honey. Good way to end the night. Your oracle card is take the next step now. Wow. Now, if you're coming to a reading for validation or for like a sign, I can't think of anything that's more of a sign than take the next step now. So I'm going to let you really touch into that and just offer you, though, from your guides that, first of all, changing your mind is okay. You're a sovereign, independent being with agency. You get to do what you want. You get to change your mind. And know that even though you feel like you may be stepping into the dark, you don't know if there's anything on the other side, that you are not stepping into the abyss. You are stepping into abundance. Okay. So I hope that that bolsters your faith and your courage a little bit. KT says, thank you. You're very welcome. All right, guys, this was awesome. Thank you guys for coming tonight and letting me read for you. Thank you to those of you who donated. I appreciate your currency so much. But I appreciate those of you who came and got free readings as well and just came and got what you needed and allowed me the opportunity to continue to cultivate and participate in my gift, because I really value that. And I value collaborating with your guys' spirits. You guys are wonderful. So I hope that you guys have a really good night, and I'll be on next Tuesday at the same time. So it's for me, Pacific time, it's 8:30 p.m. So if you're on the East Coast, that's going to be 9, 10, 11:30. It's 3 hours later. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. Math's not my favorite thing. But yeah, have a good night, guys. And thank you for coming to Divine Time with Nikki Taylor.